90 Day Fiancé fans have witnessed non-stop drama between Kris Foster and Jeymi Nogueira during 90 Day Fiancé: The Other Way Season 4. This has led to the women sharing numerous chaotic on-screen moments, as they air the rise and demise of their seemingly short-lived marriage. Most of the fireworks between Kris and Jeymi occurred due to The Other Way Season 4 villain Kris' chaotic behavior. Kris and Jeymi are one of two couples who tied the knot during The Other Way Season 4. While the other duo, Gabe Paboga and Isabel Posada, appeared to share real love, Kris and Jeymi's relationship rapidly fell apart. The two women had a dramatic fight in the season finale. Then, a furious Kris assaulted her wife physically. Later, at the season tell-all, Jeymi and Kris said that they hadn't spoken since their dramatic argument. 8. Kris Jeymi's introduction. Kris and Jeymi are 90 Day Fiancé franchise cast members who've had drama in their relationship, right from the very start. As soon as the women were introduced, their fireworks began. Kris and Jeymi shared that they plan to have Kris fly to Colombia and marry Jeymi in under 2 weeks. Those statements seemed more shocking when Jeymi shared how Kris had ghosted her in the past. Kris and Jeymi's introduction established them as an unstable franchise pair. It turned out that the red flags in their love story highlighted legitimate problems, as they went on to have a very unhealthy relationship. 7. Kris' various ailments. This drama with Kris began as soon as she landed in Colombia. Though she had spoken with her The Other Way Season 4 partner for a year, Kris waited until she saw Jeymi in person to disclose her host of medical problems. Kris shared that she had a severe neck issue that would require an extremely invasive surgery. She was therefore choosing to wait to have surgery, even though she was in a lot of pain. Kris also discussed other ailments that triggered discomfort. She even disclosed that she had a mint allergy. 6. Kris' knife fixation. A clearly overwhelmed Jeymi had a lot to take in when Kris joined her in Colombia. After Kris shared all of her ailments, she started dropping dramatic stories about her life, including her obsession with knives. This led to Kris and Jeymi going to a store to purchase knives. A giddy and eager Kris shared that she had used knives since she was a child, while a clip showed her proudly displaying her collection in the US. Jeymi appeared visibly concerned and uncomfortable. Kris' knife fixation helped to establish her as a potentially dangerous and unstable franchise newcomer, as her backstory of a burnt house also seemed suspicious. 5. Kris' neck pain meltdown. Kris warned Jeymi about her many medical issues. However, fan-favorite newcomer Jeymi was still caught off guard when Kris had a sudden attack. This happened while the two women were heading to the flea market. Kris laid down on Jeymi in the car, and said that she was in unbearable pain, to the point that the women had to turn around the vehicle. This led to Kris collapsing on the bed at home. She needed to see a doctor, who gave her injections. Kris' dramatic moment was shocking for her partner, who had never seen the extent of her issues. However, Kris didn't have any narcoleptic moments on camera. 4. Kris' stolen bike. While Jeymi was thrilled to see her soon-to-be wife, Kris appeared eager to get out of Colombia as soon as possible. This led to her dropping news of a dramatic storyline involving her rare bike. That bicycle was stolen months ago. She then shared that she couldn't marry Jeymi because she had to go back to the US for court. Though Kris ended up claiming that she didn't have to be in court in person, she invented another reason for having to leave Jeymi as soon as they tied the knot. This made Kris' story about the bike more suspicious, as it seemed like she was looking for a reason to leave. 3. Kris leaving Jeymi to go back to the US. Kris managed to get her wish. She left Jeymi very soon after they wed. Jeymi was nervous and devastated when Kris left so soon after arriving, though Kris promised to return in a week or two. However, Kris ended up leaving for months. This time was extremely stressful for Jeymi, who often didn't have her calls answered by her own wife. Jeymi felt ghosted when Kris left, and she thought she might never return. On the other hand, Kris was upset with her wife for pestering her when she was trying to work. She even agreed with her own mother that she had become a sugar mama to Jeymi. 2. Kris gaslighting Jeymi about work. Kris has received a lot of flack for how she handled her living arrangements with Jeymi. At the start of the season, she instructed her Venezuelan immigrant wife to quit her job. Kris told Jeymi that she had money, and would take care of her. However, she later got angry with her wife for not having a job. This led to a heated Kris blaming Jeymi for their financial state, and lashing out at her. Kris acted like she hadn't told Jeymi to quit her job, and promised to care for her, as she decided to create a different narrative that made Jeymi look bad. 1. Kris assaulting Jeymi. Kris solidified her 90-day Fiancé franchise villain status when she assaulted her wife in the finale. The two women got into a loud argument after Kris became irate when Jeymi raised her voice. This led to Kris screaming at her, and saying that their relationship was over. When producers told Jeymi to get into the car with Kris to leave, Kris put her hands on her wife, and forcibly shoved her. Overall, Kris and Jeymi have had the most dramatic plotline on 90 Day Fiancé: The Other Way Season 4. Sources: Kris Foster, Instagram. Kris Foster, Instagram. Kris Foster, Instagram.
Love in a modern world is fake when love was meant for joy too. When I find you, I realize that somehow we lie. Love in the modern world, it is fake when love was meant for joy. I know that he hurt you. Your 5 inches of heart is human. Can you be sure? No.